Hey guys, my name is Priscilla Elias and today I'm going to talk about a question I get quite a lot, which is how to get your first paid photo shoot. How to start making money in photography. Should you shoot for free first? When do you know it's the right time to start charging for your work? How do you get the confidence needed to charge for your photos? How do you know how much you should charge for your first paid photo shoot? We will talk about all of those questions right after the intro. How do you like my new print back here? Did you notice I have a new one? By the way, I've got quite a few new prints with some of my favorite photos. I've got a new one for my kitchen, one for my living room right above my cat's food corner, and one for my bedroom with my absolute favorite photo of me and Ricardo together. I had tried framing some of my photos twice before here in Sweden, but I was not happy with the quality of the prints until now. Thank you so much Optimal Print for such an amazing job with the prints and with the framing. Everything on point, even the packaging. They're very careful about every detail of the process, and I'm totally happy with the overall quality of the prints that now are decorating my house. Totally exceeded my expectations in every sense. If you like these prints or if you're looking for a good print service, only for the next 3 days from the moment I'm posting this video, you will have 60% off if you buy anything on Optimal Print's website. You just have to use this code right here. They have not only amazing prints and framings, but also photo books, mugs, cards, personalized shirts, art prints, and they deliver worldwide. So use this awesome discount and go print your best photos on their finest to put them up on your walls. The link for Optimal Print's website will be down in the description of this video. Now straight to the point, how to get your first paid photo shoot. I've been there also. At first, you start learning photography, you shoot everything around you. You shoot your family, your dogs, your cats, your plants. You look at your photos and you see you're actually getting better. And then what? What do you do with that? Well, if you haven't done what I just mentioned here now, my first tip for you is start doing that straight away. I think that's the first best step you can take. Take as many photos as you can of everything that's around you, in as many different situations as possible. Low light, good light, outdoors, indoors, close-ups, wide open, small aperture, big aperture, low ISO, high ISO. Just experiment. That way you will understand your limitations, your camera's limitations, and you can go after the information you need in order to improve what you need before you get your first paid clients. If you've gone through that already, and if you're watching this video, I believe you have, then the next thing you should do is to think about your portfolio. For that, you will need to have a couple of sessions that you believe represent your actual work. If you shoot products, you need to have a product photography You need to have a product photography portfolio. If you shoot portraits, you need some portraits. If you shoot landscapes, you need landscape photos. When I first started, I mainly did portraits, and before I started to charge for my sessions, I got a couple of free photo shoots for some of my friends that I believed would add up to my portfolio. I had a couple of friends that were not models but knew how to pose or were creative enough to come up with some nice ideas for the shoots. Since they were my friends, I told them I was starting out and that I needed people to take some pictures for my portfolio, and many of them absolutely loved the idea. The good thing about starting with friends and shooting for free is you won't have the pressure of time and of actually getting it right straight away. Your friends will usually be okay if you take longer to take these shots, so you can take your time to think and create without rush or without any pressure. After I did that, I created an Instagram account and a Facebook page, and then I went on to the next step, which was contacting some more people I knew that could be interested in the type of photography I was doing. This time, since I already had some nice photos of my friends in my portfolio, I could already charge something. So I got in touch with them, offering them photo packages for special prices. What you do when you do that is you start putting out your name in the market. I started out about 3 to 4 years ago, and at that time when I started, I was charging about 80 euros for an hour photo session with 10 edited photos delivered, digital photos. But this is something important here, or at least it was for me to get to the quick results I got. I did not contact just any people I knew. I contacted people that would still add up to my portfolio, since I was still building it after all. And not only that, I contacted people that I knew constantly needed or wanted professional photos for their businesses or profiles. So I contacted some personal trainers I knew, and I shot for at least 5 of them in, I don't know, 2 months, because personal trainers usually feel the need to have good photos for their social media in order to get more clients, or at least the personal trainers I know. I think the photos I had already in my portfolio and my approach helped me to be able to quickly conquer these first clients. I sent them a message telling them that I was now doing photography professionally, and that since I was new in the market, I was contacting some people who I believed would add up to my portfolio to offer a photo shoot for a special price. Then I showed them some amazing training photos that I had as references, and I told them that I wanted to do something similar to that with them. Boom! Attention gained. I had some good photos on my portfolio, and the photos I had as reference were amazing. So of course they would be interested to have them for such a special price. It is important that you know if you are actually able to get to the results you promised them though. Otherwise you will get your first client and you might never get a second one. Or at least the first one will never shoot with you again or talk about you to other people. So I did it. I promised them something and I delivered them what I promised. That's how I got my first paid clients in photography. Then a couple of months after I started doing portraits, I realized the wedding photography business was really something in Dublin, where I was living at that time. I also believed that shooting weddings would help me to improve drastically in many areas of photography, since in one entire day of shooting, I would have to shoot portraits, products. I would have to be able to be fast, to think fast in order to know what to do at each specific moment of the day. In resume, I knew I would learn quite some. And I also knew that since I was willing to learn and I knew I might not be able to deliver a shoot that was 100%, I needed to work as a second shooter. So I contacted about 20-30 wedding studios from Dublin that I found on the internet, offering them to second shoot some weddings. After a day or two, the first wedding photographer answered me asking me if I would be okay to go with him just to watch and learn for a first time. And I said, absolutely, I'll do it. I will be happy to learn. On this first day, I didn't even take my camera with me. I just went there and walked around with the main photographer, watching him to do his thing pretty much the whole day. He liked me and asked me if I would like to be with him for a wedding he would shoot in 3 days, and that he would pay me 50 euros to shoot with him. I knew it was like no money at all, but if he liked what he saw, he would pay more for the next ones. And again, I wanted to learn, so again I said, I'm in. I was so happy I did not charge much for that, because I had so many photos with the wrong focus and the wrong depth of field, and the thing is, I only noticed they were bad when I got home and I saw them in the computer, because from the viewfinder, to me, oh, how great. To me, they just look great. So I talked to the main photographer and asked him what I needed to do in order to improve that. Free lesson and mention. Well, not free, because I had worked for him almost for free, but I mean, this is when I got my payment for the job, you know? He taught me all about it, and for the next wedding I did with him, I was already way better. At that time, all I had was a camera, a 50mm lens, and an external flash. So now he was paying me 150 euros per wedding, but I didn't feel I could charge much more yet, because I didn't have all the equipment I needed in order to shoot everything and anything I needed during the wedding. I did 3 other weddings with him for that price, and then I invested in more lenses and equipment. Now I had a backup camera, 2 external flashes, a 24 to 70mm, 100mm lens, and a 16 to 35mm lens. That's when I started contacting more wedding studios and started working with new photographers. In about 3 months from the time I had started shooting weddings, I was second shooting for 300 to 450 euros a day, and in about 5 months I felt I could do it on my own. I had shot about 8 to 10 weddings, and now I knew how it worked from beginning to end. That's when I took another step that I think is important you take at some point, not necessarily to get your first clients, but to be more professional and to be able to charge more for your work. That's when I created my website. But as I said, when I started, I did not have a website. I started out with an Instagram and a Facebook page, and only 8 months later from the time I shot my first paid client was that I actually started creating my website. But that's a topic for another video, because by now you know how I did and how you can do it. It is important to say that I did not feel entirely confident when I got my first clients. Actually, for most of my shoots, I do not feel entirely confident up until today, and I think it's natural, especially if you're a perfectionist like me. I worry a lot about attending people's expectations about my work, so always before a photo shoot, I get a little stressed going over everything. Did I get extra SD cards? Do I have an extra battery with me? Am I going to need extra lights? Is it going to be sunny? What kind of reflector should I take? What time should I leave my house to be there on time? Do I need to have some posing ideas in mind for this shoot? All small things that I don't know if I can say that make me insecure. Maybe that's not the word, but they make me worry a bit, you know? They keep me aware, especially because I'm usually doing many things at the same time, as you possibly are too. And YouTube is one of these things. But back to confidence. I think it's okay if you don't feel entirely confident. It might even be good if you don't let that freeze you. I think the first thing you need to do is to have some good photos and to know you're able to take good photos. Are you? Have you done that before? Can you do it now if your family asks you to? Yes? Awesome. Then put out your portfolio and face your fears. Just do it. No? Haven't done that? Then first get that solved. You need to be able to take good photos. And how do you know if they're good enough? That's hard to tell, even because good is very personal. What is good for me might not be good for you, and vice versa. Does that exist in English? I hope so. But compare your work to other people who are out there in the market charging for their work, and ask yourself if your work is close to that level. That will help you not only to gain confidence, but also to be able to define your pricing. That's what I did when I first started. I compared my work to other photographers' works from Dublin, where I was living at that time. I checked out their prices, and from there I had an idea of how much I could charge also. I made a list of about 10 photographers I liked from Dublin and that I believed my work could be comparable. I made a list with their packages and pricing, and from there I had an idea of how much I could charge without being too expensive or too cheap. I started with the lower price, and in a couple of months I was in the middle. And that's it. Have good photos already? Start talking to some people you know, offering them some awesome photos for special prices. Here we go again. Soon you'll have many jobs going on, especially because if you're good, those people you photograph first will most possibly suggest you to other people, and so things start happening naturally. Then build up a great portfolio, create your website, and you will see things start adding up more and more day after day. In the beginning, I had to go after my clients, I had to contact them directly, as I mentioned here, but nowadays I don't even need to do that anymore. People come to me. They either find me on social media, search engines, or they come after someone's referral. If this video helped you guys, please consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the like button. I would really appreciate it if you did that. Also, drop me a line down here to let me know how you got your first paid client, if you got him already, or if not, how you plan to do it. Anyway, let me know about your experience and your thoughts about this in the comments below. I would love to keep up with what you're thinking and doing. Thank you so much for watching me, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao! Be careful about every detail. It's not gonna be easy today. It's been like that for a week now. For a week now, do you hear me? I've been trying to record no videos, but it's been quite impossible. It's like all the time in my head. I can't stand it anymore. Can you just go away? I'm gonna cry.